The last thing I want to talk about with this period, which ties in with chapter 2 of your book, is the idea of slavery. Slavery is starting to increase. Demand for slavery is starting to increase. We've talked about plantations and all of that, and so we're going to explore why that is. By 1750, half of Virginia's population was slave. By same time period, 2/3 of South Carolina's population was slave. So why does this demand for slavery increase? Well, one, you have less migration. The economy started to improve in England. British workers were getting paid better, so the need for people to leave England, there was not really as big of a push factor to take that risk to go to the Americas. The other thing is slavery is a dependable workforce, and it's cheap labor. We start to see the establishment of slave laws, surprisingly, to people who are familiar with the Civil War and all of that. Massachusetts was actually the first one to have some slave laws established, some boundaries there, pointing out the existence of slavery. And by the 17th century, the triangular trade, which you should be well versed in from earlier history courses in world history as well as in your U.S. history courses in 8th grade, they were definitely in full force as rum rum and guns were going to the Africans, raw goods going to Europe, and the slaves going to the Americas. And so that really system gets in place. And so slave trade is definitely something that we see truly grow during this time period. But by the time we get towards the beginning of the 19th century, slavery will start to decline. The thing that will kick it into the next gear that will eventually get to the Civil War and become such a big issue would become the idea when cotton becomes king. But that's where we're at there. Right? So that concludes our talk here on Chapter 2, series of videos. I hope they are helpful. Use the lecture, the PowerPoint note lecture that goes with it. The PowerPoints are on my big campus for you to be able to access.